The recovery marathon continues.
Arkansans just really take care of one another. It makes us, I think, proud to represent our state even more than we already were.
The help available tonight for those affected.
Got to make sure that we're getting out and making that effective communication to everyone in our community. We can't leave anyone out.
Severe weather threat has come to an end in Arkansas, but we'll keep a chance of rain in your forecast. Plus, a look ahead to Easter weekend.
Devastation in Wynne, how the superintendent plans to finish the school year. The tornado damage here in Central Arkansas is extensive, and for many, they may have no idea where to start. Thank you for joining us at 5. I'm Faith Woodard.
And I'm Rolly Hoyt. There's a marathon of responsibilities and requests that lies ahead for impacted parts of Little Rock. Tonight, let's begin with our Brooke Buckner, who has a message from the governor and FEMA officials. Brooke, what are these next steps?
Rolly, Faith, at this afternoon's press conference, the governor gave an update on Arkansas's recovery process, saying she's seeing just how hard our state is working to rebuild. FEMA administrators were also there to explain how people can get the help they need. Region 6's administrator, Tony Robinson, says, first, you need to call your insurance provider. And if you need more help, you can go to disasterassistance.gov. Keep in mind, you do need to have a few things ready, like your driver's license, your insurance policy number, social security number, and your address at the time of the tornado and where you're currently staying.
We'll work you through that process and the things that we need to be able to provide you the assistance. The other thing is we will have a close partnership with the Small Business Administration. So you may receive something that says we need you to apply for the Small Business Administration. Please do that. They offer some great programs through low interest loans to be able to help you with your home contents.
Governor Sanders says FEMA is responding to these requests quickly, and some Arkansans have already received funding. She also says representatives from state agencies like DHS will be able to provide people any documents that they lost in the storm at our 3 local FEMA disaster recovery centers. There's one in Little Rock, one in North Little Rock, and in Wynne. You can find more information about those locations on our website, THV11.com.
Brooke, thank you. Sorry about the cutoff there. And you can remember that shelters remain open tonight for people who've been displaced by these storms. The Red Cross set up in 3 places: Calvary Baptist here in Little Rock, Wynne Assembly of God in East Arkansas, and First Baptist Church in Jacksonville.
Faith, Rolly, and the rest of Arkansas, very happy to report the severe weather threat in Arkansas has ended, not only for today, but for the rest of this week, this weekend, and a good part of the week next week. And we need a break, folks. Another round of severe weather last night. Tornado warnings that were issued well after midnight early this morning, and a lot of severe thunderstorms that moved through the region. Looking at the severe weather reports, mainly wind and hail, have not had any reports of confirmed tornadoes in northeast and north central Arkansas, although Weather Service offices will check that out. We do have some leftover shower activity in southeast Arkansas, but a frontal boundary continues to move through, and the temperatures are dropping off behind the front. The skies are clearing out over the west and northwest, but I think for southeast Arkansas for the rest of the evening, we're going to be socked in with clouds and even a little bit of rain for the foreseeable future into the overnight hours early tomorrow morning. Easter weekend's coming up. We'll take a preview for you in just a few moments, but the good news again, severe weather threat has ended. Back to you.
All right, Tom, thank you. Now, the same destruction we've seen here in the metro also visited the much smaller city of Wynne.
Homes are destroyed. The high school there is damaged beyond recognition. Our Ian Russell takes us to eastern Arkansas. Shows us why a little normalcy is something the school superintendent there hopes will help.
Yeah, that's about all that's left of Wynne High School. The storms came through Friday and completely ripped this place apart, destroying it almost entirely. Superintendent Kenneth Moore telling me the building is likely a total loss. That doesn't mean the school year is over, though. Moore told me they'll finish this year, of course, not at this building, though. Eastern Arkansas Community College will be the new home of Wynne High School. Moore says the college is moving things out so that they can have a place to keep educating kids. He also says that despite the tornado, they want this school year to feel as normal as possible. That means prom and graduation are still on. Normalcy is something he says they need to keep going.
We just win. And what I mean by that is whatever it takes. We are going to get after it. We're going to pick each other up. We're going to be a shoulder when it's needed. We're going to cry when we need to cry. but then we're going to laugh and we're going to say, okay, we're good, we're okay. We're going to come out of this and we're going to do it together.
Coming up tonight at 10, I'll share more with my conversation with the superintendent, including the life-saving decision they made that kept kids and faculty safe. In Wynn, Ian Russell, THV11 News.
Well, from Wynn to Little Rock and beyond, volunteers in all these places need your help to keep up with the resources.
Whether you're donating your time or money, the Arkansas spirit is on display. Different organizations have different needs, but here in Little Rock, the city is asking for these donations: water, hygiene products, baby items, and paper grocery bags. The city is also asking for people to donate shelf-stable foods, and if they're canned, make sure they don't need a can opener. Clothing can be taken to Goodwill, and animal food can be taken to the animal village. Now, the Arkansas Food Bank is also doing what it can to help people impacted by the storm. Tomorrow, the food bank is hosting a food distribution at Park Plaza Mall. Starting at noon, it will hand out water, fresh produce, and non-perishable food items to 500 families here in Central Arkansas. The Arkansas Hunger Relief Alliance will also be on site to provide information and application assistance for disaster SNAP resources. Food will be distributed on a first-come, first-served basis, but anyone in need of food is welcome.
If you're headed to the Harlem Globetrotters game at Simmons Bank Arena this Friday, you can just drop off donations on the way in. Any of the items you see on your screen, they'd be gladly taken, though avoid some glass jars, pet food, and damaged cans. And as Faith just said, it's important to prioritize flip-top cans. And coming up on 6:30 Central, we're going to talk with the Salvation Army. Major Bill Mockabee will join us with new information on the organization's recovery efforts. If you have any questions for them or how you could get some help, you can send us a text, and we'll ask it coming up on 6:30 Central. Now, we've been following all of these different organizations at work across faiths and beliefs. Several of those groups are also working to cross language barriers, specifically Spanish. THV11's Jalissa Garza joins us tonight with the people at work in those communities and how you can help them. Jalissa?
Rolly, it can be difficult finding resources or information for Arkansans who don't speak English, but the Mexican Consulate of Little Rock and Seis Puentes Education Center are trying to make it easier and accessible.
I have had several interviews, radio, TV, bloggers, trying to share valuable information to the Hispanic community at large.
The Mexican consulate has been working around the clock to make sure Spanish-speaking Arkansans are taken care of.
We have been answering the phones, letting the people know what they can do, especially if they have insurance, or if they don't have insurance, we have other advice to offer to them.
Consul Carlos Giral says they've been going to different locations across Central Arkansas to lend a helping hand.
At the end of the day, we are all human beings, and we need to support each other, especially in difficult times.
Seis Puentes Education Center also providing items people may need, and more importantly, translating.
We help build that bridge between Spanish and English-speaking folks.
Executive Director Raul Fernandez says right now they're in need of more translators so they can reach more Spanish-speaking Arkansans.
If you know Spanish, use it. If you don't know Spanish and you know someone who knows Spanish, use them. You know, if we all come together the way I've been able to see our cities come together the last few days, this is definitely something we can do.
Making sure information is available in Spanish is something Fernandez says is vital in recovery efforts.
An estimated of upwards 9% of our community here in Central Arkansas is Hispanic. You know, that's a pretty high number, and we've got to make sure that we're getting out and making that effective communication.
If you happen to speak Spanish and can help Seis Puentes, you can give them a call. And if you know someone who is in need of information in Spanish, the Mexican Consulate has a 24-hour hotline. That number is 501-952-3462, and it will stay open for the rest of the week and weekend. El Centro Cristiano on Cleveland Street is also another place to go for help and information. Rolly.
Jalissa, thank you. Good information. And a reminder, THV11 is making it easy to help all of our neighbors in need. You can just text the word GIVE to 501-376-1111. You'll get a list of things you can do for Arkansans who've been impacted by Friday's tornadoes.
Well, Well, former President Donald Trump is facing an unprecedented challenge defending himself in criminal court while running for president at the same time. Nicole D'Antonio has more details from Washington.
Former President Trump's run for the White House may have actually been boosted by his indictment on 34 felony counts of falsifying business records.
He has more support now than he ever had.
A senior advisor for Trump tells CBS News the charges give Trump a leg up politically. The campaign has raised millions of dollars in recent days, even offering a T-shirt with a fake mugshot.
What they're doing to Trump, targeting him, is to stop him from running. They think they're going to take him out, but what it's doing is it's just making him stronger.
Trump responded on social media Wednesday morning, saying the people see what's going on and will not allow it to continue. Tremendous spirit right now in the Republican Party. But we're still 10 months out from the first votes being cast in the 2024 Republican primaries, and not everyone is happy with the former president.
No one is above the law. He certainly should be arrested or arraigned for all of the mistakes and lies and prejudices that he's caused in our country.
Trump's lawyers say they will try to get the case dismissed long before the voters go to the polls.
Is it a motion to dismiss for prejudicial pretrial publicity? I mean, is there a place in America, but particularly, is there a place in New York where Donald Trump can get a fair trial? That will be the argument of the defense.
Trump's next court appearance is set for December 4th. Nicole D'Antonio, CBS News, Washington.
Trump will be on the road campaigning again next week when he's scheduled to speak at the NRA convention in Indianapolis.
The former New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern gave an emotional farewell to the country's parliament. She announced she would be stepping down late last year, saying she no longer had enough in the tank to keep going.
Now, I cannot determine what will define my time in this place, but I do hope I've demonstrated something else entirely, that you can be anxious, sensitive, kind, and wear your heart on your sleeve. You can be a mother or not. You can be an ex-Mormon or not. You can be a nerd, a crier, a hugger. You can be all of these things. And not only can you be here, you can lead just like me.
Ardern says she hopes her time in government will inspire others to take office.
Teachers know what it's like to go above and beyond for students and their success, whether that's in the classroom or in their home after a natural disaster. Hopeful headlines after the break.
We deserve a breather. We're going to get that breather. No severe weather for at least 5 to 7 days, but we will have rain chances and cooler temperatures as we head into Easter weekend. I'll have your forecast next.
All right, Tom, thank you. Well, now is the perfect time to download the THV11 app. Severe weather season is just beginning, and it's important to stay weather aware. Available for free on Google Play and the Apple App Store.
Well, we've been telling you countless stories of the people coming together in such difficult times.
Tonight, THV11's Frederick Price introduces us to a North Little Rock teacher pitching in to add some relief for her students.
Yeah, there are so many homes in the Amboy community like this one behind me that are destroyed, but one Amboy Elementary School teacher is going beyond the classroom and helping those students who are displaced. Although Amboy Elementary closed Wednesday, Trinita Kelly is still hard at work making a difference in her 75 students' lives.
This is something that they've never experienced, their parents have never experienced, maybe even their grandparents.
Friday's tornado damaged homes in the Amboy community in North Little Rock, leaving many of her students in an even tougher spot.
We have a large population of our students that are, at or below the poverty line.
And finding shelter after this storm, Trinita tells me, is among the most immediate need for her parents.
And these are families that needed assistance like right now.
So she created a GoFundMe for emergency relief, hoping to raise at least $1,000 to bring some sort of help for these families.
Just being able to make sure that those families are housed and they don't have to worry about where they're going to stay next.
You can consider Trinita a profound educator, one who selflessly thinks about her students even in her off time.
I absolutely love my students.
And because she is so connected to this tight-knit community, she wants her students to know they are loved and cared for.
A lot of them they're traumatized and they may not understand fully why they're traumatized.
She and some other staff members also got together Tuesday to brainstorm relief ideas. Instead of focusing on upcoming state testing when school resumes, Trinita says their focus will be their students' emotional well-being.
It's not just about teaching, math or teaching them things in school that you can learn, but just being able to be there for them.
In North Little Rock, Frederick Price, THV11 News.
Frederick, thank you. So far, she's raised about $130. We'll post a link to the GoFundMe on THV11.com if you're interested in helping out this community that really needs it.
Something about normalcy with a normal traffic backup coming back. This is a look live right now west of the 430 interchange on 30 westbound by the Otter Creek outlets. You're going to have a couple extra minutes getting through that spot, and it looks like there's some stop traffic there in construction. Keep that in mind as you head home. We'll be right back.
This week, we've seen a lot of devastation and heard a lot of sad stories following last Friday's storms, but we've also seen a lot of good and heard incredible stories of strength.
Stories like Dante the mailman. Let's explain. We heard about him thanks to Hugh Cooper, who lives in Colony West. He sent us this message today, looking to share some love with a face that he sees every day.
Cooper says right after the tornado hit, Dante ran into people's homes to help, to make sure they were safe. He told us it was calming to see his face out there, and he wasn't alone.
Cooper's neighbors sprang into action, clearing the roads to make sure first responders could get down them. So if you're watching, Dante, we've got a message to deliver to you. The people of Colony West love you and thank you for your service and help. We want you to keep sending us these stories of hope and humanity as we work to document all that's gone on in this historic event. Please pass along those tales that you believe should be shared by sending us a text to 501-376-1111.
Now, we've heard incredible stories highlighting the humanity on display during these times.
Coming up on 6:30 Central, I want to repeat this. We're going to be talking with the Salvation Army. They've been out there on the front lines. Major Bill Maccabee will join us here in studio. They've got information on the recovery efforts and can answer any questions that you might have. Send us a text. We'll pass it along. We'll be right back.